I'm Chris Thomas, and this is Master Class. Sometimes you can refer to this as single point fighting, which is where you're concerned about one point only because it does X. Lung 8 is physically located. Look, the bone comes like this and it spreads out. And where it spreads out, you can feel there's like a little pocket at the end of the bone. Okay? The pocket at the end of the bone is where lung 8 is located. But if you just put your finger there and press, you don't get much of a reaction. What you need to do is you need to rub into it. This, by the way, begins for me to tell you something about what's called direction. Okay, so the direction you attack a point is critical. It's not enough to just put your finger in the point. You have to come at it the right way. In this case, I don't rub up, I have to rub down into the point. Now, there's two ways to get this early on when you're just first learning. One way is to take like a middle knuckle and rub it in this way. Okay, you just kind of rub along the inside. So you find this channel and you rub with a knuckle. So you can use one of these. A lot of times people will put another hand here and just kind of press. My personal preference, though, is to start like I'm trying to take a pulse. And then what I do is I take this index finger. So I got my index finger and I pull my index finger up like this, up towards that point. So I start down here, just like I'm feeling a pulse. And then I drag my finger up into the lung 8 point. Okay? Now, different people have different levels of reaction. So you notice that lung 10, when I did lung 10 on Stan earlier, his reaction was pretty significant. When I did lung 8, not quite as much. This is not at all surprising to me. Because what happens with point work is that different people have slightly different levels of response on different points on the same meridian. Now I'm going to show you a quick cheat. Right here in the crease, if you put your finger, see there's a tendon on the top of the hand right there, and then there's another tendon right there. Feel those two tendons? Right in the crease between those two tendons is the point lung 9. Now normally we don't talk about lung 9 a lot, but the angle at lung 9 is a push point, a press point. The direction is pretty much that way. So if I put my finger here and press, I get a little teeny reaction. So if he's grabbed me, for example, and I'm going to go and catch, I want the lung 8 point, but I start here and I put a little press there and then I do lung 8. And that's a cheat. Because what I'm doing is I'm beginning to divert the energy. The minute I put pressure on that point, his body starts to protect that point, which weakens the next point up. And I'm taking advantage of that characteristic of body response.